Did you hear that Donald J. Trump, the president of America, had 100,000 children in migration-related U.S. detention centers? Oh my God, it's a tragedy. Oh, impeach. Impeach. What a monster. But, oh wait, it wasn't Trump, it was actually Obama. Here we are with the AFP news agency. Now, they've embarrassed themselves greatly. And this isn't the first time this has happened, and I want to show you just how bad it is, okay? A while back, the media said that Trump was putting kids in cages. Trump was doing all this. He was being terrible. But do you know what the actual answer was? Do you know who actually put those kids in the holding cells? It was Obama. Here's one example. This was underneath Obama. These are the holding cells. So while Trump was blamed for this, it was in fact Obama. And you know what? History repeats itself because these leftists, these people on like Democrats and people on the left, they keep pushing lies. Oh, Trump did this, Trump did that. And then you actually look into the story and it turns out it was actually Obama. You see, Obama was actually a pretty terrible president. Obama was a pretty terrible man. He drone striked people. He got civilians killed. He actually did he had more borders control than Trump, believe it or not. And now the left, you see the left always does this. They want to act like they're the good guys. Oh, they're so caring. They care so much. When in reality, they've done everything they claim that their enemies do. And in many cases have done far worse. So the AFP news agency says, and this is a top news and features from AFP's reporters around the world, elsewhere on Twitter. So apparently, this is some sort of fancy official media organization. They have reporters around the world. They have 1.7 million followers. I don't know why, because they put out fake stories. AFP is withdrawing this story. The author of the report has clarified that his figures do not represent the number of children currently in migration-related U.S. detention, but the total number of children in migration-related U.S. detention in 2015. Under Obama. We will delete the story. So they made an oopsie, and now they're, well, I mean, I would say they're owning it, but the fact is, how many people will see this correction? The media always does this. They make a horrible mistake, and then they correct it, but by then the damage is done. There needs to be real punishment, I think, for straight up lies. I'm not even talking about stuff where you twist the truth, but something verifiable. It is fact that these numbers are from 2015, and they acted like it was from now. So here you can see in their original tweet, #breaking, which would indicate, oh, this is current. More than 100, I think it got a like as we were speaking. More than 100,000 children in migration-related U.S. detention, UN. And why don't they just delete this tweet? Why don't they delete it? Because more people will be misled. So here's a left-winger, and it shows you just how dumb they are. Open the gates. Let the cameras come in. Bring in at Red Cross inspections. This is evil in our midst. Here to watch replies. Obama did this. Oh, well, then no worries, yeah. So when Obama does it, these people don't care. These people literally do not care, even though Obama did the worst things. David Stowe says, oops, looks like you made a little mistake. Accidentally targeted the wrong political party, I just love it when these people get wrecked. They get absolutely demolished and destroyed with facts and logic. I'm so sick of their lies. You know what I mean? It's like, I'm tired of it, you know? Steven says, good to see. Somebody's getting around to covering the Obama administration. Shen Weihua says, this looks like a child concentration camp in the U.S. Oh, Shen, where were you when Obama did this? Where were you liberals? Where were you virtue signalers? Oh, you really care. You really care about the world. You really care about the atrocities. Oh, you care so much. Yet for 8 years, you were just chilling. Nothing to see here, folks. Our president is half African American. That means that everything is right in the world. You know it's Obama's fault this country's so divided? Because he won on the race card. He pushed racial division. He caused so much damage to this country, and to boot, he was just a terrible president. He was completely unqualified. He's done a terrible job. Oh, Trump has done a fantastic job in comparison. Nothing good came of Obama. What, Obamacare? You mean that crap that cost people all that money and trouble? To which I never bothered with? Forget that. Screw that. Screw Obama. He was honestly terrible. Oh, he talks nice. He talks so nice. Oh, okay. I didn't realize that Obama was such a good speaker, Mr. Stutter in Chief. The dude had a speech impediment, almost as bad as mine. But, I mean, come on, guys. Come on. Obama did all this. He did far worse than Trump has done. You know, he was pretty pro-war, and he won the Peace Prize. Oh, yeah, he bombed some civilians, got him killed. But, let's give him the Peace Prize. Yeah, which is how you know that the Nobel Peace Prize is absolutely a joke. It's meaningless. It's stupid. Like, it literally means less than nothing. Here we have Mark Dice. You know, Mark Dice is pretty slow. I saw the story a while ago. I just didn't have time to cover it. Hi, Mark Dice. Book Kitty says, okay, let's see. So Tyler Scott, he says what I said. Damage already done, hacks. Yeah, and they always do this stuff. They always completely mislead people. And, you know, a certain part of you thinks, you know what, I think they're doing this on purpose now. Maybe they're just that dumb. Jeremy Bell says, so these children were held during the Obama presidency. Nice to hear about it now. Charlie Martin says, no wonder they pulled this story. Of course, because if it's not bad about Trump, well, it just doesn't fit their political agenda and bias. Sonia replies, so who was the president in 2015? The preemptive Nobel Peace Prize laureate, architect of the current fiascos in Liberia, in Libya and Syria, Afghan drone fighter extraordinaire. Mr. Obama. Stephen Miller replies, we're deleting the story now. Because how it makes the last president look. Now, someone here brings up a really good concept and something I've never really talked about, so I'm going to explain it now, thanks to this user. Skeptical California says, for some reason, they were nicknamed memory holes. When one knew that any document was due for destruction, it was an automatic action to lift the flap of the nearest memory hole and drop it in, whereupon it would be whirled away on a current of warm air. George Orwell, 1984. Now, this is a very good concept, and the media does it all the time. They memory hole events if it doesn't fit their narrative. Now, the media is always quick to glorify when a atrocity happens in real life, let's say in America, maybe at a school. They'll constantly bring it up. Oh, we need gun reform now. Oh, it was a young white male. Oh, he was reportedly an incel, even though he was only 15, and there's nothing weird about that. But no, horrible. An enemy to all women, and so on and so forth. However, I've watched the news, you know, as I do, upload and cover news and events and memes on YouTube and other platforms. I've noticed many news events which I've tweeted about or talked about where it doesn't fit the political agenda. Maybe it's not a white male. Maybe it's not a male at all. Maybe a female does something bad. Maybe a minority does something bad. Maybe, just maybe, someone terrible does something bad. But if it doesn't fit the political agenda, the media agenda, they memory hole it. Oh, nothing to see here, folks. Nothing to see here. In fact, wasn't the latest tragedy, and I'm not going to name any names because we're not allowed to talk. You know, it's too big and bad, right? It's too controversial. But you probably know what I'm talking about. In one of the recent tragedies, the perpetrator, the criminal, the bad person, used a handgun. And what did the left-wing politicians do? Bernie Sanders, Beto O'Rourke, all those weirdos? What did they tweet about? What did they talk about? We have to stop assault weapons. Now, you don't have to be a gun expert to know that a handgun is not an assault weapon. So, they clearly don't care. Memory holes are everywhere. Pay attention. Look at the news. When something happens that doesn't fit their agenda, watch how quickly they just memory hole it. What happened? No, we can't talk about that. Let's talk about Trump's tweets. Woohoo, so we have a local hero, Ryan. I screen capped the entire story, so it's now safe to delete it. So here's a copy of the entire story if you want to read it. It talks about, think of the children, the poor children. And then they blame Trump in the article. Dan Gagnor says, why not do #journalism, you useless hacks? The doctor replies, when the story doesn't fit the narrative, 1, change the narrative, 2, change/delete the story details. There you go. The AFP lied. The AFP blamed Trump for something Obama did. But you know what, my friends? That's merely the obvious. Well, that's all for now, folks. What do you think about the AFP news agency? What do you think about this story? And what do you think about Trump and Obama? Do you think Obama was a good president? Honestly, I'm just sick of the media blaming Trump for things he didn't even do. Let me know what you think. As always, if you want to support the channel, you can join me on Patreon, you can join me on Subscribestar, or you can donate via PayPal or Bitcoin, if that's what you're into. Sharing the video also helps the channel grow, and helps more people get red-pilled. As always, thanks for watching. This has been Mr. Obvious, and I'll see you all next time.